Hi, friends.
It's Miss Tracy
And Miss Hannah.
from Smith County Public Library. And we have a variety of things for you today. We're going to read some stories. We're going to show off some crafts. We're going to talk about Matilda. We have a lot of fun things happening. So first off, I want to say the Worry Monsters have been a big hit with their little happy backpacks and worried thoughts. If you still want them, we still have them because we still have worries. We're going to keep giving these out as long as we have worries. But next week, we have a new thing happening. Here it is. Let me show you. I dropped one of them.
One of them escaped.
See this little kit? It says BFF, and so does this one. We didn't make these, we bought these, and we're going to share them with you. So you come by and you say you want a BFF pack, and we'll have them ready for you, and then you can open them and give one to your best friend. Ta-da! Then you have little toys. So that's happening for Valentine's week. We also have a necklace kit for Valentine's week, the little conversation heart necklaces. We also have a cool craft. It looks like you're getting some jellyfish. They look like it, but then you weave them together and it's a heart. Isn't that cool?
Amazing.
So we have a lot of fun things happening. And we have a contest for lovely little Matilda. She is handmade by Elaine, who works at the front desk. Everybody knows and loves her. And this girl needs a home.
She does.
Hannah, how can we find her a home?
Well, you see, I was talking to Matilda. This is Matilda. And she thinks the best way to find the best friends would be to go home with the winner of the drawing that we're having for our mystery bundles. So if you call the library and you say, I would like a mystery book bundle, first you get a wonderful selection of books, and it's a mystery, but I'm sure you'll love at least one. And then we'll put your name in a raffle, and at the end of the month, we'll pull a name out of the raffle, and then whoever wins gets to have Matilda as a new best friend.
Yeah, won't that be fun? Handmade. She's awesome.
She's incredible.
And now we're going to read some stories. Wonderful, wonderful love stories. Are you ready? Ring our bell. And we clap our hands together like this, and we click them forward like so. Then we open and close them like a book. Read, read, read a book. Travel anywhere. Worldwide, you decide a book can take you there. Now, the first one I'm going to read is called Mr. Puskins. Y'all know how I love a good cat story. Mr. Puskins by Sam Lloyd. And it's published, I always forget to look for this thing first, by Athenaeum Books. Okay. This is the story of a little girl called Emily. That's her. And her dear cat, Mr. Puskins. Emily adored Mr. Puskins. Now look at his face. Isn't that funny? He doesn't seem like he adores her equally. Each morning, she would invent fun games for Mr. Puskins to play. And in the afternoon, she'd brush his long coat, and she'd tell him, "Oh, Mr. Puskins, what a handsome boy you are. I do love you ever so much."
Aw.
Look at his face, though.
I don't think he's very happy with that.
And each night, Emily would snuggle up in bed and read Mr. Puskins a special story. But Mr. Puskins never listened. The girl's constant babbling, blah-de-blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's quotations. I think you read that. Blah-de-blah, blah, blah. That's what he heard. Bored his whiskers off. He wanted more than this dull life. So one night, he left.
Oh, no.
Here he goes. He went places he wasn't meant to go.
No.
He did things he wasn't meant to do.
Aw, he's going to get in trouble.
And he made friends with the pesky cat gang.
I don't think that's a good decision.
Look at the pesky cat gang. Look at that.
So they're all singing, and it's late at night. So they're going, meow, 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 meow.
Oh my goodness. And everybody's turning their lights and yelling at him and stuff. Life without Emily was such naughty fun.
Oh, no.
But time passed and things changed. The rain fell and an icy wind blew. The things Mr. Puskins wasn't supposed to do weren't fun anymore. And his new friends weren't really very nice.
Aw, poor kitty.
How lovely it would be to have someone brush his fur Look at his nasty fur. And tell him how much they love him. He felt all alone.
Oh, he looks so sad.
I know. Down the gray streets fluttered a tatty old poster. It was a picture of Mr. Puskins. He stared at the photo. What a bad-tempered cat he'd looked. Emily had given him everything a cat could dream of, but he had never been nice to her. Look at his face here, looking at his picture. Stark realization there.
Mm-hmm.
How sorry he felt.
Oh,
I felt like that before sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good feeling. Mr. Puskins found a phone number. He dialed the number from the poster. He's really talented.
he is.
And he waited anxiously. Someone answered. Mr. Puskins said in a very sad little voice. Mr. Puskins, is that you? Oh, thank goodness. Wait right there. I'll come and get you, cried Emily. She knew where he was.
Mm-hmm. Her cat senses.
She knew right where he was. Mr. Puskins sat patiently. Would Emily find him? Would she still love him? He waited and waited, and Emily did not come.
Oh, no.
Then, from over the mountains, he heard a car. Mr. Puskins' heart leapt. It was Emily. His dear Emily was coming for him. Oh, he's so excited.
Oh.
The car got nearer and nearer and nearer, and then boom, it sped straight on past. Oh, that's what Mr. Puskins wailed. He said,
Emily doesn't love me anymore.
Oh, he's so sad. Look at him crying. But then the car screeched to a halt, and Emily jumped out. Mr. Puskins, my beautiful Mr. Puskins, she cried. I didn't recognize you. It's no wonder she didn't recognize him.
He's very gross looking though.
He is. But she scooped him up. She scooped up her dear cat, and they were together again at last. This is the end of the story of a little girl called Emily and her dear cat, Mr. Puskins. Mr. Puskins adores Emily. Every evening he cuddles her and purrs gently while she reads to him. Now both Emily and Mr. Puskins realize how lucky they are to have each other.
Aw,
And that's the end.
that's such a good story, Miss Tracy.
I love friends, and I love these little stuffed animals, and I love our patrons. So, yeah, this one's really good too. I love this next book.
So our next book is called The Love Letter, and it was published by our friends at HarperCollins.
They do a lot of good things.
They do.
And who's the author on that?
The author
and
is
illustrator.
It's written by Anika Adamoy Denise, and it's illustrated by Lucy Roof Cummins. So here, and this is a tiny little hedgehog on our cover, and he's holding a letter. I wonder if that's our love letter.
Could be.
It says the love letter. And here's the moon. Hedgehog was late. He did not like being late. It further frazzled his already prickly mood. He'd been grumbling about it to the ground when he spotted something unusual. It was not an acorn, or a leaf, or any of the ordinary somethings he came across on his daily walk. It was a letter. This wasn't just any letter. And it says, it was a love letter.
Friend, you are a joy, a light, a secret hope, a safe good night, a face that shines just for me. When you go, I miss you so. Don't you know I love you?
Oh, I wonder who the letter's from.
It wasn't signed.
My word, said Hedgehog. Someone loves me. Then he tucked the letter into his backpack and went on his way. Bunny and Squirrel were already in the meadow. Squirrel was busy gathering acorns, while Bunny busied herself with a nap. Normally, Hedgehog liked to get there first, but today he had a love letter and was feeling oddly cheerful. When Bunny beat him at Leapfrog, high five. When Squirrel asked to share his lunch, my pleasure. And when Bunny wanted a friend to walk her home, delighted. Hedgehog is being oddly cheerful, thought Bunny. She wasn't in the habit of hugging Hedgehog, but today she gave him her best bunny squeeze. She was just about to hop on home when she saw a letter lying on the ground. That's the letter. And the letter says,
Friend, you are a joy, a light, a secret hope, a safe good night, a face that shines just for me. When you go, I miss you so. Don't you know I love you?
"Oh, my whiskers," whispered Bunny. "Hedgehog loves me." Down in the rabbit hole, Mama put her straight to work. Normally, Bunny pretended to nap at chore time, but today she had a love letter and was feeling oddly helpful. When Mama said peel the parsnips, perfect. When Sister said set the table, surely. And when Papa said sweep the floor, splendid. After supper, she hopped along to Squirrel's house. "I brought you more acorns," said Bunny. Bunny is being oddly helpful, thought Squirrel. Before he could say, "Thanks a bundle," Bunny overturned her apronful of acorns onto the pile. Squirrel's neatly stacked acorns came tumbling down. "Bunny should be less of a busybunny," Squirrel sighed. Then he spotted something unusual among the acorn scatter. It was a letter. And the letter says,
Friend, you are a joy, a light, a secret hope, a safe good night, a face that shines just for me. When you go, I miss you so. Don't you know I love you?
"Oh, oh, nuts," said Squirrel. "Bunny loves me." Normally, messiness made Squirrel anxious, but today he had a love letter and was feeling oddly carefree. When Mama splashed soup on his napkin, slurp. When Papa left wood shavings on the floor, scoop. When Squirrel's teddy bears were not in size order, snore. The next morning, Hedgehog, Bunny, and Squirrel bundled up and headed to the meadow. "If I do not show, Bunny will miss me so," said Squirrel. "If I do not show, Hedgehog will miss me so," said Bunny. "If I do not show, I might never know who sent me this love letter," said Hedgehog. No one said a word at first. The letter that had made Hedgehog cheerful and Bunny helpful and Squirrel carefree suddenly made them all shy. Squirrel gathered the courage to speak first. "Bunny," he said, pulling the love letter from his pocket, "I may not have your gift for words, but—" "My letter!" said Bunny, snatching it up. "My letter!" cried Squirrel, grabbing it back. "My letter!" insisted Hedgehog, stealing it away. And on it went, snatch, grab, steal, bicker, until... "Look what you've done!" said Bunny. "You ripped it," said Squirrel. "Did not, did too, did not." "Was that my letter?" asked Mouse. "Your letter?" said Hedgehog. "I'm not sure. What did it say?" And so they pieced back together the letter.
Because they ripped it up in
They
their
did.
fighting. Friend, you are a joy, a light, a secret hope, a safe good night, a face that shines just for me. When you go, I miss you so. Don't you know I love you?
Oh, but now it's all torn to pieces. Oh, no. "You wrote the letter?" said Bunny. "But who is it for?"
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Oh.
I love this part.
"The moon," said the mouse. "Why does the moon need a love letter?" asked Hedgehog. "Because I'm a small mouse in a dark forest, and the moon is my very good friend. Don't you have a very good friend?" Hedgehog, Bunny, and Squirrel looked from one to the other. They were good friends. Friends who shared their lunch and walked each other home and gave hugs and brought acorns. "This is all a terrible mix-up," said Hedgehog. "The love letter never really belonged to any of us," added Bunny. "We shouldn't be arguing over something we never had," Squirrel sighed. Mouse looked at their long faces. "When you thought the letter was for you, How did you feel? She asked. Cheerful, said Hedgehog. Helpful, said Bunny. Carefree, said Squirrel. And? Asked Mouse. Loved. Then I'd call that a wonderful mix-up, said Mouse. The end.
And now they're all friends with each other.
Yay!
So today is February 5th, and on Monday, February 8th, you can stop by, beginning Monday, and pick up your little pack of best friends. One for you, one for your best friend. And you can call in anytime and get on the list for Matilda. And if you are maybe like a 6-year-old boy and you're like, I don't want that doll, get on the list anyway. We have other things. And don't forget this craft. That you get these and you put them together and you have, ta-da, a little heart. So, and we always get worry monsters. Not always, but for now we do. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We appreciate it and we hope to see you again real soon.